no 8 a.m. is going to hold Clement back.
Hey, Lee.
Hey,
7 a.m. So.
Oh. Oh, whoops. Yeah.
Oh no, it is 8 a.m. But
okay, it just feels like 7 a.m. Hey, yeah. Before the 8 a.m. mark, it's all 5 a.m. from there. Like it's all too early. Man, yeah, Clement. Oh, man, just having you on the call I get so much grace from it because I'm technically allowed to say good morning, and it's acceptable at this point. Like everyone else has had to look at me kind of weird. And try to force good morning out of their mouth, even though it's like, nighttime. So this is nice. Wow, 2 minutes after the call already. Okay. All right. Okay. Hi all. Hey everybody. Hey Tanuj. Hey Vivek, Shriti, Pratik, Mihu, Clement, Anirudh, and Bahami. Good. Let's get started, folks. Let's make it a Friday night, I guess. I will stumble around to find the meeting minutes. We'll share them. Layer5 community meeting, episode 45. Just kidding. Layer5 community meeting, September 25th. Meeting minutes is in the chat. I'll share these now. I think we have enough agenda items to not wait around for all the laggards. Let's get started. I gotta say, just before the community meeting is maybe the peak hour of Slack. All kinds of folks always wanted to talk just before and just after this meeting. It's good. Good. Well, before we jump into any parts of the agenda, it is obligatory, traditional, embarrassing maybe, but hopefully very warm. The tradition of saying hi to newcomers like Vivek. Vivek, I don't know if we've had the fortune of being introduced before, but if you don't mind, if you would just introduce yourself briefly, just say hi to everybody. And Vivek, you are, I guess you're still on.
Yes, sir.
Oh, there he is. Hey, Vivek, we can hear you. Oh.
Yeah.
How are you? Hey, do you want to just say hi to everybody and maybe tell them where you're calling in from, how you came into the community? And
Okay, sir. Hello, everyone. Myself, Vivek Kumar Sahu. Right now I am in second year from EC branch. And the skill I know are basic Java. And I also know Docker. And I am learning Kubernetes.
Nice. Oh, very good.
And I want your support and guidance so that I can contribute to your project.
That sounds wonderful to me. There are, that's fantastic. Thank you for coming, Vivek. There's a bunch of people on the call who
Thank
who will
thank
help you in that mission. I really want to make a horrible joke right now, and I can't because there's another newcomer. Well, that never stops me, but there's another newcomer. Anch, Mr. Dingra.
Yeah.
And actually, so here's the joke. Before we even get started, we're going to get off on the right foot. So Vivek said he's been studying Java, and I thought, wow, what an appropriate enunciation of that word. And Anch, I hope that we get off on the right foot as well, and you don't start talking about Java coming.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so hey everyone, my name is Anj, and I'm actually an incoming freshman at the University of Waterloo. I'll be majoring in CS.
And Ansh, I didn't hear you. I didn't hear the about or any of the other Canadian. How long have you been in Waterloo?
No, I'm currently in Delhi, India. I'll be going to Canada most probably by April next year.
Okay. Well, see, that just makes my like the joke I was trying. So the thing is well, this is weird. I have to cut out of the call a little bit early to go chat with Cisco for a little bit, and I'd actually I had a couple of teams during my time at Cisco in not far from in Ottawa, Canada. And anyway, point is, for whatever reason, it got all over my nerves when people would say Java. It's just like Java is the language of choice apparently in that region and has been for many, many years. It's very enrooted, and so is the enunciation of the word. It's like nails on a chalkboard to me. So anyway, there's a story for you. You'll see if it's true when you head out there. Very nice to have you, Ansh. Thanks for coming.
I'm really excited to be here. Yes, I'm just. This was actually my first. What do I say? Well, I think this is probably the best thing that happened to me in the lockdown.
Right. Well, just you wait. It'll get worse soon. Nice. Oh, cool. That's awesome. Oh, very good. So Vivek and Ansh today, and then for both of you guys, just note that hey, these are your meeting minutes, and so take notes and list your name and the whole deal as we go. So a couple of announcements. I'm not sure if Abhishek is on, so it's not as fun to try to embarrass him while he's not on, but there's a member of the community, Abhishek Kumar. He's currently employed at Book My Show in India, and he's coming over to focus full time at Layer5, which is nice because there's so much to do. That's fantastic. Really excited for him. In a similar vein, Tanuj, who's on, so it's a lot easier to embarrass. Tanuj, along with Ruth and Kaleche, have recently become meshmates. And hopefully everyone's familiar with that program. That's kind of a neat thing. But also Tanuj has been instrumental on one of our initiatives around the next generation of the Layer5 IO site. Really important thing to try to represent the works that go on here and do it in a much better looking way than the current site. And a much more scalable way. And so Tanuj is just starting an internship for this school year, after which Tanuj already has some good plans, some placement plans already for this summer. So that guy's a rocket ship. Briefly, yesterday, for those of you who are familiar with well, so Clement and I were talking about this a little bit last night. There's a couple of programs. So there's, there's, can't see my browser. Like the Meshmates program, or somewhat similar to the Meshmates program, where there's a collection of knowledgeable individuals to help guide you along your way. There are also other programs like Cloud Native Ambassadors or CNCF Ambassadors. So individuals that go around sharing on cloud native things. And Meshery and the Service Mesh Performance Project. So two of the projects that all of you work on were presented twice yesterday to that collection of individuals. And it's nice to get the visibility to those individuals because, well, because they like to go around and talk about things and try things. They're generally early adopters. And as we sort of aim Meshery and we aim SMP toward the CNCF, it's good to get more visibility in that area. So pretty good. There was, the first time they were presented, just all kinds of feedback in general about service meshes and all of them, most of them wanting to learn. A few of them fairly deep into service meshes already. Some nice compliments on some of the work that's being done. So that's nice. Other than that, we'll move into the topics and I'll start to be quiet. So we have any number of new community members join each week. And for my part, I only had time to, off the top of my head, list down Bart. Shriti, do we have a list of the others that have joined this week?
Yes, we do. I'll add that to the list.
Okay, cool.
This time.
Cool. And then there's a few different topics. If any, as we're going through here, the reason that these individuals are presenting on these topics is to show off their good works, get some feedback, get some conversation going, get some learning going. So interrupt at will, ask what you think are the stupid questions, understanding that they're not, understanding that that's why people are presenting them. And if you, just like Jesus is doing, this is a beautiful thing, he's putting in additional topics at the bottom of the agenda. So if you have questions or things to talk about, put them there and we'll get to them. So first up is, well, on the list is Kush, but Kush, you're not here, are you? I don't see him. Shriti, would you mind poking him or there?
Yeah, sure, I'll do that.
Poke Kush. There. I gave him some pokes. And then Abhishek is on the list and he needs poked as well. Someone, can you get out your poker stick? Let's
Yeah, I'll go get my poker stick.
Nice. Good, bad jokes all around. All right. We'll move these gentlemen down to the bottom of the list. And Pratik or Neil, or no, I'm sorry, not Pratya, but Pratik Tripathi. Do you want to take us through this next one?
Okay, yeah, I can take this up. So basically, we just registered as an event for the Hacktoberfest as a Layer5 community. And what Hacktoberfest is about, it's about getting new members to onboard on the open source platform. So what Hacktoberfest does is, you basically contribute to any open public project anywhere on GitHub, and if you make 4 pull requests in the entire month of October, 4 or more, you will get a T-shirt from DigitalOcean and some cool stickers on your laptop for your laptop. So like you can show them off. This year it's starting from October 1st, and the next newcomers meeting, which we have on Thursdays, will be our Hacktoberfest event. We'll share the details very soon. We have almost been approved to conduct the event. That's all from my side.
Anyone ever participate in Hacktoberfest in the past?
Yes, me.
Yep, I have.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too.
Me,
That is the reason I joined Layer5 last year.
I mean, I, it
It'll be
probably
my first time. It'll be my first time this year. So
nice. Yeah, I mean,
It's gonna
chances
be
would
my
have
first
it
time
that.
through this thing.
Oh, okay. Nice. Well, I didn't think of this, but maybe we should either set a goal or have if all of you don't end up with Hacktoberfest t-shirts, that would be weird, because like I was saying before, there's so many things to do. And part of what Pratik, and actually I think Pratik, you might have just said it and I might have just missed it, but one of the things we'd like to do to prepare for Hacktoberfest is not only is Pratik and Shriti and probably some others are helping organize, well, what is it, Pratik? It's the Layer5 at Hacktoberfest meetup.
yeah, it's Layer 5 at Hacktoberfest or something like that.
That'll be will it be in a couple of Thursdays from now?
Next, sorry, it is next Thursday. I was thinking we'll keep all newcomers meeting at the Hacktoberfest label, and we can have a small Hacktoberfest discussion entire throughout the month of October on newcomers meeting. So the first one is coincidentally falls on the 1st of October itself. So the 1st October is a Thursday, and we have a Hacktoberfest event coming up from Layer 5. So everyone, please do join. It's like, it would be great, and you will start contributing. You need to make just 4 valid pull requests. And yes, you need to like register on the platform. I'll do that stuff for you. And also, if you are kind of a environment friendly person, instead of taking a t-shirt, you can also choose to plant a tree as well. So that's something awesome from their side.
I'll add a point here. Anybody creating issues post October 1 can add a Hacktoberfest label to them, which basically points out any new contributor that this issue is target marked for Hacktoberfest, and any PRs that they make will go towards that effort. The Hacktoberfest label has been added to all the Layer 5 GitHub repos, so you can just go ahead and add it to any issues that you make. That's
Shriti,
all, I guess.
Yep, Shriti, do you want to speak to Jesus? Asked a question about well, some of the recent tutorials that have been happening inside of the newcomers call.
Sure.
Yep. So yeah, so his question is, are there any existing tutorials to start contributing other than the info that's in the contributors guide?
Yeah, sure. So basically, the Git Contribution tutorial, I think one was made by Karen, but we haven't actually uploaded it yet because it had a few issues that needed to be corrected or that needed to be sorted out. If enough people want it, we can definitely do a tutorial on either signing of PRs or working with Git as a special Hacktoberfest kind of thing. We can do it in the next newcomers meeting itself. Shouldn't be too hard. So that's something you can look forward to.
Okay. So the list, so we would do well to...
So far we've had a tutorial on starting from the beginning, working with Jakaya, which basically included setting up and working with and a walkthrough of all the side projects in Layer 5. Secondly, we had a tutorial on setting up and running Meshtree, another one on working with the Meshtree UI, and a fourth one on working with Gatsby and the Layer 5 NG project, which is basically based on Gatsby, and React and GraphQL and a couple of other languages.
Can you please put the links for those tutorials, please?
Sure.
Yep.
Thank you.
Lee, I'm not sure if the videos have been uploaded to YouTube, but if they have been, I'll add a link here.
Thanks. Yeah, a few of them have been. It's
Great.
some of them, since I wasn't there, I'm confused as to like if they were accidents or what they were. So yeah, if you want to take a look, if you can take a look, if they're there, just post them directly to the YouTube channel.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. The other thing to Jesus's point, if we could, it would make a lot of sense probably to add the links to the tutorials that have been given in a central spot. Here is fine, but this is fairly transient. And a central spot could be in the contributors.md or in a different file that the contributors.md links to, a different markdown.
Maybe we can add a blog with instruction for Hacktoberfest, and in that blog we can list those tutorials. Make sense?
Yeah. Where would the Hacktoberfest, like a description of the Hacktoberfest? Oh, you know what? Actually, this does make a lot of sense that we end up listing some of the programs that the community participates in, and it probably makes a lot of sense to have an entry here for Hacktoberfest. And then to Jesus's point, the stuff that that Pratik is organizing on each of the meetups that we'll have throughout all the Thursdays of October, links to the tutorials. Does anyone who would like to do that? Who would like to create just a copy of one of these pages without this video? By the way, it's not a good video in the first place. But can anyone take this on? Describe the Hacktoberfest, kind of what we're doing, the fact that there are tutorials and meetups.
I can do that. It will help also for the event. So please share with me the link that you was sharing before.
Sure. Is it? I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. I'm so sorry. So I'll just go.
Jesus.
All right. Jesus, hey, please do go ahead and take this. I'll create an issue for you. If you, whatever details that you need, I'll provide it. Just ping me on Slack. I'll help you out.
Okay. Let me ping you. Thank you.
Sure. Great.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you. Wow, that's great. Look at that. We can hardly get through the topics without more work coming onto the plate. This is good. Something else to call out here, I think is probably, there's two things that are related to just, open source contributions and doing them in general. One is that there are, each day of the week, there's a collection of people here in this community that are meeting, and Shriti had recently gotten us organized on the Layer5 site under the community page. At the bottom of the page, there's a table that's a quick reference for for this meeting or others, where the meeting minutes and where's the persistent Zoom link. And for each meeting, you should find that there are individual playlists for a bit of an easier reference. And this link, Shriti, actually, we just found a bug. This link is to a specific, well, maybe, I don't know, this is weird. It's coming up in a modal, which is kind of cool, but also it's only showing a specific, if you would, can you take a quick note? Let's see.
Yeah, sure. I'll look into it.
Cool. All right. The other thing, maybe to wrap up this topic. So one, thank you, Pratik. By the way, Pratik, who just led off this topic, great example of someone in the community saying, hey, we should probably do this, and raising up as an idea, and is a good idea. And so Pratik is off and empowered to help represent Layer5 in that community. Others have done similar things for some of our participation in Community Bridge and some of the other programs that we have. So I'm calling him out as an example, as a good example of what happens when you make a suggestion, I guess. Along the same lines, or along similar lines, it just so happens that this is kind of timed with Hacktoberfest. It's not necessarily Hacktoberfest specific, but there are a number of you who are organizing the call that happens on Thursday. It's oriented towards new members of the community and helping make sure that they get familiar with the projects and the technologies that are used. The newcomers call on Thursdays is the one that we've been talking about. Recently, some of you helped organize a small questionnaire that I think has probably gone through its last review. It's more or less ready to send out. There's a couple of, there's a small typo or two, but the reason this questionnaire was put together is to help establish a longer and larger agenda for the newcomers call, and just for tutorials in general, and sort of helping provide instruction to others, also maybe helping people get engaged in the projects if they want to. These were the ideas that we had come up with for tutorials. This questionnaire really hasn't been sent out yet. If you, yes, you, Jesus, I'm kind of thinking of you and then everyone else on the call, if you can think of other topics or tutorials that might make sense to list, we should probably do that. If you think of other questions that we might want to ask as people are filling this in, this might be a good time. It's kind of interesting to know if people have heard of the things that we're doing. And if they heard about this program, it's good to let them know about the program. And if they want to join the mailing list, it's a very short questionnaire. Assuming, so that everyone has the link, it's in the meeting minutes. Everyone that's here should have the ability to edit the form as well. So assuming it looks pretty good by end of day US time, we'll probably start to send it out. And when we do, I know Shriti will be helping organize, she'll be letting everyone know what tweet to go retweet, I guess. Good. Any questions or comments on this topic before we move over to Neil? Nice. Well, Pratye goes by Neil, which I find.
I want to say something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So when we're talking about tutorials, I want to I think I'm raising my hand. But I don't think so that. But I want to chip in that Michael actually did a tutorial for Ubuntu for setting up GKL. So I don't know, I'll just add the link to the meeting minutes right away.
Awesome. So say it again. It's a tutorial on getting going with Jekyll on Linux. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I won't type it in on the fly. That's perfect. That's great. Thank you, Ruth. You literally are raising your hand in Zoom as well. So yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, Pratye.
Yeah.
Take it away.
Okay. So hello everyone. I revamped the SMP site. Before I jump into the site, let me give a small overview of SMP. SMP stands for Service Mesh Performance and is hosted within the CNC Special Interest Group Network. Using SMP, Meshmark provides a universal performance index to gauge your mesh efficiency against deployments in other organizations' environments. So Lee, can you open the SMP site, please? Yep.
You betcha. Hopefully people can see it now.
Yeah. So shall I continue?
You know, I didn't hear what you said. Say it again.
Shall I continue? Shall I continue?
Yes, continue.
Okay. So like as you can see, I changed a lot of things with respect to the previous site. So the update includes the adding of the improved nav bar animation. As you can see when you scroll down, like if you scroll down, it changes its shape and dimension. I centered the standarding service mesh measurement text in center along with the button. Made the hero background go full way to the back to 100% scaling. Then as you scroll down, you see I added the contributor section. I don't know why this is happening like this. Like this wouldn't be happening like this. Okay, now it's good. So I added the contributor section like it was previously a still section. So I added an infinite autoplay carousel, and as you go down further, there you can see I added the footer part and also edited some of the padding issues, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty. It's really coming together. The footer is the why I didn't even see this before. The footer is the most recent change, and part of the reason again that that Pratya is presenting this is to show off the good works, to receive feedback, and so if you have feedback, speak up.
Yeah, I do. I really love it. It's nice.
Thank you.
Well done, Pratya.
Thanks, Ruth.
Yeah, that's pretty much my feedback as well. Like, hey, it's pretty slick. I really like this. That's awesome. I love how one thing, Pratya, that I think you're probably still thinking on and probably have another kind of update in the works, is that these are important links here that are great. They look fantastic where they are. We might have an opportunity to squeeze them in, a few of them or all of them or something, somewhere in the resources section. Okay, yeah.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, food for thought.
Like I was also thinking about adding a tooltip to the links that are present in the footer section. If you go below, like in the footer section, yeah, those links. I was thinking to add a tooltip to each of them.
Yeah. Great. It's been I've had a really hard time picking argument with the suggestions that you've had. Try to, right? Anyway, fantastic, good. Thanks for showing this off, folks. If you're wanting to collaborate on this site, this is then go see Pratya. There are 4 other Jekyll sites, I think, right now, and 1 Gatsby site that all of which need a fair bit of love. The project Meshry, no doubt all of you have been to meshry.io at some point. This same set of numbers, the number of performance tests that have been run, you can see it on Meshry.io and you can see it on the SMP spec.io. One small item that if anyone was wanting to take this on, is to inject a comma in the thousandths place right here through JavaScript or something. But it might be nice. Recently, some additions to this site have been made to highlight that the tool can be used for SMI compliance, or Meshry can be. Also to highlight that Meshry is an implementation of SMP. So these are 2 quick updates. We're right now kind of a call for another volunteer, someone to think about this. There's a new adapter, a new Meshry adapter that's being created. It's for Nginx as a service mesh, and we don't have it listed in the alpha section, but it should be. Also, Mesh, the company behind Mesh is called, well, as of 3 days ago, it was called Continuous, and they've since renamed their company to Traffic Labs. I believe that nope, they didn't. I guess it's just called, oh no, they did. It's called traffic mesh. So at some point they probably have a different logo. And so we're friends with all of the service meshes. And so if anyone picks this up and tries to find the new logo and you can't, let me know and I'll introduce you to these folks. I don't really see the mesh logo. I guess this is it here. All right. Good deal. Given the time, moving on. Next up is Michu. He's going to talk about integration testing for mesh readapters.
Yes, thank you, Lee. Try to share my screen. That's okay. Let me check whether share. No. Maybe not. I'll try again. It's tricky. So do you see my screen now? Black screen with bash windows?
It's there.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, good. So this point is about automatic end-to-end testing of mesh adapters implemented first on the mesh console adapter. And I'm just going to start the testing and then I can talk a little bit while the tests are running. So on the top left corner, you see the Measure console adapter running. Right corner is, I'm going to start the tests right now. And at the bottom of the screen, you see K9S looking at all pods, I think, in the micro case cluster that I'm running locally. So I'm running these end-to-end tests. Now you see that they started running on the left-hand side, the output of the console adapter. And at the bottom, you can see that the console service mesh is being installed. And now I started to work on the console adapter a couple of weeks ago, I think, updating the console service mesh version to the latest version. And then I noticed that there are no automatic tests at all in the console adapter, and all the tests are performed manually. That was okay in a way as long as I was updating sort of like the console service mesh to a newer version. But now more work and the next tasks actually involve changing and refactoring the code. And that can of course break everything, and therefore it's really nice to have automatic tests that are running. I have a background in a lot of Java programming, done a lot of test-driven development, and if possible, then I also like to do test-driven development, if you like, for infrastructure, but in any case have automatic tests that make me feel more confident when implementing new functionality, refactoring existing code, so that I know that I don't unintentionally break things, and that helped me to test it without having to run the test manually or execute tests manually, which is error prone and also boring. So what these tests here do, they test the adapter functionality, so that testing that the adapter actually can deploy the service mesh, can deploy sample applications, delete the sample applications, and then at the end remove the service mesh from the cluster. These tests do not test whether the service mesh actually works and is handling the sample applications correctly. That would be an extension to these tests or a set of other tests. The testing framework used is called BAT, Bash Automated Testing System. It's a domain-specific language written in Bash. So you can write your tests in Bash script. And it's quite widely used. I used it in several projects. And it makes it really easy and is a nice framework to test, for instance, your infrastructure using well-known command line utilities, like for instance, curl or JQ to test JSON output, or in this case, I use gRPC curl, which makes it possible to test or to access gRPC endpoints, which are used in Meshery adapters to create a mesh, to deploy sample applications, to get feedback about installed applications at a later stage. So for me, these tests are sort of like the prerequisite that I can start refactoring the Meshery console adapter code, or for anyone else. These tests, for the time being, are just implemented to run locally. Now you can see on the right-hand side that all tests have passed successfully. So the service mesh installation was tested, and all 3 or 4 sample applications were deployed and then deleted as well. And the test there was to wait and test that all rollouts were successful. Now we're discussing sort of like a bigger refactoring and reorganization of adapter code, introducing common adapter libraries that contain code which is common to all adapters, and that's quite a substantial refactoring. So I think would recommend that all adapters would implement a similar set of tests before starting doing this quite substantial refactoring. As you see, these tests took about 5 minutes to run. So it is quite quick to sort of test the basic functionality of a Meshery adapter without a lot of manual work. And we have discussed this, consider to implement these tests also to run on the CI workflows on GitHub, which would allow to run these every time someone checks in a change, or like regularly every, once a day if the tests take a little bit too long, so that it would really make also the release process much less, be able to ensure that the release is fine and not unintentionally breaking something, and testing also on another machine and not just the local machine. I can maybe, if we have 2 minutes, I can just quickly show how this looks like in code. If I hit the right window.
Sure, Mikul, go ahead.
What do you see now? Do you see some code? The IDE?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here, this is a simple test that is installing the service mesh console in this case. You see, as in many other testing frameworks, you have a setup method where you can set some environment variables. Here it is also used to extract, to get the kube configuration that is sent to the Meshery adapter to establish the connection to the cluster. And then, as you can see here, the first test is that this so-called client instance in the adapter is created, you just run a normal bash command and you check the status. Then the next test is actually installing console, creating the request body data to the gRPC call, and then using grp curl to execute this operation on the adapter. Then waiting till all the rollouts, both deployment, stateful set, and daemon set are finished. And if they don't finish, then the test will fail. And so this is repeated for all sample applications, including then removing the applications from the mesh, from the cluster. And then at the end, removing the service mesh from the cluster as well.
Oh, so I have a couple of questions.
Yeah.
So this batch is only implemented in console adapter, right?
No, this is, well, did you ask whether the batch is implemented in the console adapter?
Yes, or we,
No.
the batch is like a end-to-end standard in Layer 5.
No, I didn't really understand your last comment. So I can just let me quickly show. So this is you see on the left-hand side the directory structure of the source code. So this is not part of the adapter as part of the adapter code, but is in a test directory part of the source code of the adapter. Yes. So
Yeah, but
yeah.
My question is about if we are planning to add this type of end-to-end test for the rest of the adapters.
Yeah, then you would sort of like take this as a template and then adjust the tests accordingly to the different adapters. So because you have a different set of sample applications, so this is not sort of like a common implementation that you can use for all. So you would have to make a copy and implement accordingly for each adapter. But it's quite simple, you know. It's yeah.
Do you recommend to do this test before doing the refactoring, right?
Yes, yes, I would really recommend that. I mean, I personally, that's why I started doing implementing the test before I started looking at the refactoring.
Okay, perfect. This is a great effort. Thank you.
Welcome. Thanks for the comments. Are there any other comments and questions and observations? No, then I think we can go on to the next point on the agenda.
Great. Thank you for the presentation, Nico. All right. Moving on. Jesus, if I'm not pronouncing your name right, I'm really, really sorry. Please correct me. You want to go ahead with the next topic, which is, would you want to explain this?
Yes, we are organizing an event. It's called and this event is for American people. So it will be the main workshops and speakers will be in Spanish, and Layer 5 will be participating in the workshops on how to start contributing in Layer 5. So we are planning to translate some documentation to Spanish. I can start working on the translation of contributing overview. My question for you is if that makes sense to you to add like a switch in documentation so we can switch the language, and each page needs to be translated into Spanish, and that is like the issue. So if you approve that, I can start working on this specific issue, and that was my.
Sure, it makes sense. Are you planning to do it manually?
Yes, for at least for this, yes, because as organization, as a the group behind COS is working on the translation to Spanish for every workshop that will be present during the event. So I have almost finished this translation in a document, in a pen document. So yes, the idea is to do this as a manual effort.
That's good. It'll be definitely be a huge project.
Mhm.
I'm just wondering, is there a better way to do this? Like not manually?
Probably yes, but I'm not very comfortable with the with the results of translating automatically the those guides. For example, many tools will translate containers, for example, or fork. It's like fork in Spanish is will not make sense for contributors, right? So I think that we can do this effort as manual, and also if we can start opening opening issues, we can have contributors from Latin American uh, people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
I'm guessing you have
work.
to. Yeah.
Yes,
Good.
this can work for Hacktober and can work for during the event, and we are planning to do.
Sure. You will have to front that initiative though. I'm not sure how many people speak Spanish. I don't, as a matter of fact. So yeah, that's there. But really good initiative.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for explaining.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
Great. All right. Is Krish on call? I know Abhishek cannot demo his today. I'm guessing he's not.
Yeah, Kunal is not here, so and yeah, I'm not in state to present anything right now, so probably we'll move that to the next one.
Sure. All right. Ansh, have you been on call before? Ansh Tingra?
Yeah. Pardon?
Have you been on call with us before?
No, this is my first community call.
Great. Please do go ahead and introduce yourself.
Sure. So I'll just introduce myself. Hey everyone. My name is Ansh and I'm currently in Delhi, India. I'm actually incoming freshman in the Department of CS, University of Waterloo, and I'm really excited to be here. Yeah, I think it's the best thing that happened to me since the lockdown happened. So
We'll see to that. We'll definitely see to that.
yeah.
All right. Bami, have you had a chance to introduce yourself in the community call? I know you have introduced yourself in the newcomers call.
Yeah, hi. I don't think I've done that before.
Go ahead.
Okay, I am Luabon Bekemi from Nigeria. Python developer, technical writer. And I'm so super excited to be here.
We're so excited to have you as well. Rest assured of that. Moving on, is anybody else new on the call and would like to introduce themselves? I'm looking at Joseph Chineru, if I'm pronouncing that right. Would you like to introduce yourself and not hear me talk? Well, I'm not sure he's on call. All right, folks, that's it for today. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for signing in. See you next week. Have a good weekend.
See
Thank
you
you. Same
next
to
week.
you.
Thank
See you
you.
next
Thank you
week.
very
Bye,
much.
everyone.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye.
Really
Bye.
nice to meet you all. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Nice presentation.